Oh my gosh. Oh no! Oh no! That one right there that's the best. That one is the best. It is currently Saturday, and I do not have a video ready yet, and I post every Saturday. So, I figured what better video to make than to go and react to some of my oldest videos and oldest files that I've stored here on my hard drive. So, buckle up for what will be a serious cringe fest, because things are about to get real awkward. Like, more awkward than usual. And a side note, this is actually my first ever car. This is the very same car that I sold so that I could go travel to Thailand with a one-way ticket. So I figured it would be appropriate to wear this while reviewing the early days of the Lost LeBlanc channel. The Eye of Sauron is starting up. Brace yourselves. I think one of the best places to go to react to old videos would be to the very first video. Now, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but on YouTube, you simply go to a channel that you want to see, click videos, and then you can actually go sort by, I shouldn't be telling you this, oldest. Welcome to my channel. 50,000 views 4 years ago. I mean, jeez, I'm killing it. It's not too late to pull out. It's not too late to just stop watching this video.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Christian LeBlanc, and I'm a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada.
I was 21, so this is 5 years ago. I'm 26 now. Canada, let's go.
For the next 8 months, I'll be traveling Southeast Asia. My first country will be Thailand, and from there I'll go to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and whatever else is to come.
I look like I have a gun held to my head. And, you know, there's kind of a funny story behind this video. I used to be seeing another girl, and her name is Laura. She's a very wonderful woman. She used to kind of like secretly record YouTube videos from her basement, and she had a white wall or a white little tarp that she would hang, and so I recorded from her little studio there. She had the box lights, but I don't know what it was. Like, I'm not that awkward of a person, but the second I was talking to a camera on a tripod, it was like I was a deer in headlights. Like, I could not string a sentence together, I could not be myself, and this is the result. It's beautiful. Keep watching.
During my time, I have no idea what I'll be doing, but one thing's for sure, it's gonna be trouble. How am I gonna film my trip, you ask? Pretty easy. You GoPro here for silver.
Okay, I like intentionally made this awkward, so if you're thinking this is the most cringe, it was meant to be a little cringy, because I already knew that if I tried to be serious, it would just be extra cringy. So I was like, I have to fully embrace awkward.
Cool stuff. I'll be doing weekly.
Also, notice these biceps I used to have?
So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram, and I was going to say Twitter, but I don't have a Twitter, so don't follow me there. It's going to be pretty cool. Does that look?
No, that was awkward.
What was I doing with my hair? I have it like perfectly combed, like as if a cow had licked me.
Alright, my name...
that was a real take. That was not me messing around. I figured I'd include it because I look so stupid.
Hi, my name's... No, I need some water.
Christian's thirsty. Humble beginnings, everyone. Now, 66,000 views 4 years ago. Woo! This was a sad moment when I was going long distance. Okay, so I said goodbye to my friends, my family, and it was time to board my flight. And I need to be careful. This video is probably just gonna get copyright claimed anyways, because back in the day, I would just use any song I could. So this is a really sick hyperlapse I shot. Oh wow, that's nice. Back before I even knew what the word stabilization meant. Vancouver to Taipei. I'm playing Mulan. Mysterious as the Dark Side of the Moon, you know that song? Really good song choice. Look at that video quality. It's atrocious. But I have to say, like, I think it's also enlightening, because you watch these videos and you're like, nobody watched them for the camera quality. It's because of the story. People still watch.
I was trying to pick a movie, but then I accidentally picked one of the other Chinese or something languages.
One of the other Chinese or something languages. Oh, this is what a 21-year-old who's never traveled sounds like. Well, okay, I traveled a little bit. Should I be laughing at this? Should I have, like, should I enlist this video right now?
This is my gate.
I remember this taxi drive to my residency thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to get mugged. They literally took me under this overpass where there was nobody, and I thought for sure there's no way I lived here. I'm like, this is the end. This is the end of my travels, and I just started. But he brought me to my residency. This is when I first checked into my room where I would be doing my school exchange from.
Here is my new crib. So, you walk in, and it's just a little studio, but it's pretty awesome. Microwave.
Microwave.
There's me.
That's me.
My break. The shower.
My shower.
Could be.
My shower was basically next to my toilet, so
better, but
when you shower,
I'm just gonna have to live with that.
The toilet would get all wet.
And then in here,
which was interesting. I got bed bugs literally immediately after getting into that room, and they moved me to the next one. Thank you very much, Nancy residents. It was actually pretty good. $275 US a month. I'm sure prices have gone up a little, but okay, let's go to another video. I put together a little highlight reel of that trip here.
Things are off to a better start today. My bed bug bites are getting better. And I'm now off to the island. 3 hours later, we've arrived by bus, and now we're gonna get onto the ferry.
I always look like I'm held against my will in these videos. It looks like I do not want to be in my own video. The go pole. This is like part of my story. No. We'll give it a shot. Oh. I had good music taste, that's for sure. Those videos are all long time copyright claimed. I'm not monetizing a single one of the old ones.
I need to get a selfie with her.
So the thing you have to keep in mind too is like not only was I new to vlogging, new to making videos, uncomfortable on camera, but I literally had just met these people. I showed up in Thailand completely alone, and so imagine like the making new friends, but then add into the mix that this guy wants to film everything and film himself. It was pretty weird. Nobody vlogged in 2015. I don't know why I even thought to do it, but I don't know. I'm sure people thought I was weird, but I don't regret it because it has gotten me to where I am today. Things are so raw. Even the text, like I literally, it's like you go into the text effect on Final Cut and you just took the first one you saw. That's basically what I did. I didn't change the color, I didn't change the font, but people didn't care. People liked it. And I think that's like a big takeaway for me even today.
Oh, wow.
This was a special moment actually. This was the first time that I arrived at a beautiful tropical beach. For me, this is one of the most beautiful shots I captured on my trip. I don't know. It just tells a story of like, I'm not even one of those two dudes, but it's just like the backpacker story. It's a cool shot.
Most likely the most beautiful beach I've ever seen.
Yeah, most beautiful beach I've ever seen. And this is where I tried to like flex that old cinematography muscle of mine. This song is definitely copyright claimed, so I'm gonna put another song over top.
3, 2, 1.
That will forever be one of my favorite clips.
That'll be good.
Oh, it's recording right now. Hello.
Hello. One thing I'm noticing is like my cuts were basically like, okay, this shot's beautiful, but there was no real edit behind it. It was just like, put this shot in there, maybe hit the stabilization button and then leave it. And even if it didn't stabilize properly, it's like, that's fine. No cutting to the beat either. Tino, oh my gosh, I forgot about him. So, not only was I like a total psycho filming myself with a GoPro while nobody else was, I was traveling with a stuffed teddy bear that looked like he'd just taken like hallucinogenics. He was Tino the Traveling Monkey. I made him an Instagram page, which then got hacked, and I never got that page back. And I also lost him eventually. I just thought it'd be funny to travel with a monkey and take photos of him, so. I traveled with a pillow of my ex. The more I say things, the more I'm like, how did I even make friends on this trip? I had a stuffed monkey, a pillow of my ex, I filmed myself the whole time. I don't know. There is one very impressive cinematic transition here in this video, and I want to show it to you. Get ready? All right? 3, 2. Did you see that? Whoa! Ho, 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 ho. Part 1. Instagram, Christian_LeBlanc. This was before the days of Lost LeBlanc. If you go back and you look at like the old thumbnail style, I picked this weird font and I basically just tracked it by day as if it was a diary, which was kind of interesting. Wow, this one has a lot of dislikes. I must have done something offensive. I don't know what I did. These are my most cringeworthy videos of all. It's when you get back to North America, when I was working at the accounting firm and basically making my videos on the weekends, trying to keep the channel going. The channel hit a new low. Let's say that. Let's take a look. Oh, the bicycle intro.
Good morning, today is January 5th, and yesterday I did not do any vlogging. I just went to work, worked about 7 hours, and in this case I just made 20 versions of the bike with the spokes and the pedal and boom, there you have it, Bob's your uncle.
The post-travel videos were basically like talking about me building up my business. So I shared stuff like working on logos and animations and more of the less sexy details of the behind the scenes, but it was my life at the time. There was not much else going on. One of the things my channel did that I'd say most travel channels don't is they also shared the journey of leaving the 9-to-5 to become a travel vlogger.
I'm finally on the news, people.
I made it on the news right after. There I am.
No, what's the world coming to? The news is done in 20 minutes. They're obviously saving the best for last.
Way too fast for me, but they did it. Yeah, it's a little ponder to
My first time on the news.
And they even threw a drone up to give them that kind of panoramic view. We have more Canadian than that, yeah, and guess what? You
can't get any more Canadian than that.
Some Slay credit for like half a second.
They played my clip for like half a second and they're like, oh, can't get any more Canadian than that, can ya? That video actually went up the next day on a different news station because it went kind of semi-viral on YouTube, and then it went on national news in front of all of Canada, and it was like, Canadian drone pilot might find himself in hot waters, because apparently where I flew was also really close to a tiny little airplane landing strip. Now luckily Transport Canada was pretty cool, they were pretty chill about it, and they gave me a warning and that was it, but I could have wound up with some fines that I would never have been able to afford because I could barely afford to live.
So my story is just after the cat in the box. Really busy day on the news. I can still make my title, I made it onto the news.
That's one of the funny hold that thought. Oh! Sorry. Some people get spiders in their house. Not me. I get crabs. And he's under my keyboard. It's very cute. Anyways, back you go. This was my very first ever video that went viral for me. And this was, I think, like actually in a place where I was getting close to being done with YouTube. This was a really important video for me. This how to travel video on Thailand was one of the first ever made how to travel videos on YouTube, and that's kind of how I built my brand early on. And these are the early grassroots of the channel. There's one last little folder inside of this here guy that I wanted to pull up because I found some funny things that I think we should look at. One of my first ever logos of the company, of the business, if you could call it that. It started off as me watching tutorials on YouTube, trying to teach myself how to make an animation. And so as you can see here, I created 24 of these frames of this here bicycle spinning in a circle, and each of them had to be basically adjusted, saved, exported, adjusted, saved, exported, adjusted, saved, exported 24 times to make this. This was the outcome. I remember I'd spent like an hour and a half or 2 hours watching tutorials and making this, and I was like, I give up. And so I came back and did it the next day, and I perfected something because the final result was a little bit better. It looks like a bicycle on a bumpy road. It's still got some tweaks and a bit of bump into it, but it does the trick. I got rid of those little white gaps. That is how I spent a lot of my free time. These are some of my early photos. So back in the day, I was a huge fan of the saturation slider. As you can see here, if you look closely, you'll notice the sky is really oversaturated. There's Tino. Nothing else to note here. On to the next photo, just a typical day in Tokyo. These are my old photos where I used to shoot with the GoPro, and that is the selfie stick. Okay, so selfie stick, traveling with the stuffed monkey, talking to my camera, girlfriend pillow. I don't even know how I survived. Woo! I'm pretty sure I just took the paintbrush tool and went bloop, 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 bloop. Don't really know what the take on this one was. Me and this guy are having a real good time. Just thought that was kind of a cool photo. So I did a little ad for my dad. My dad does real estate in White Rock, so if you're ever in the neighborhood, give him a shout. I put his little for sale sign sold in front of Angkor Wat Temple. Another little edit here, nothing noteworthy. What does it say here? I sold everything I had and got on a plane. This is my 7-month Asian odyssey. Odyssey. I don't think I've ever used the word odyssey since then. Woo! Taking a 30 frame clip and half speeding it. Never a good call. Never a good call. Yeah, we're gonna get copyright claimed again. I think it's like a remix of a Avicii song, or maybe Avicii did a remix of his song and then somebody else did this remix. I don't know, but I love the song. Basic as it is, it brings back so many memories. Really, really cool. That's the beauty of travel. Like, this was such an amazing 8-month trip. I felt all of my desire to travel in that 8 months was totally like satisfied. I was content after that 8 months. But then I went home and started working and I started to crave to travel again, and that's how I basically ended up going a little bit crazy at work and saying, I need to get out of here, you know, not today, but like next week basically. And I sold my stuff, went back to my roots, tried to pick up my editing game a little bit, tried to invest in some camera equipment, and that's how the Lost LeBlanc channel has gotten here today. Kind of cool. Most of my editing style was like pretty much just storytelling, like take beautiful clips, cut them together, and eventually I got to a place where I cut them on beat. But I saw a couple of, you know, LumaFade videos on Instagram or on YouTube, and I was like, why don't I try it? And this is the result. It's so bad. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! This is the definition of when a brand new editor figures out LumaFade exists. It is, at least I was self-aware. I did call this experiential or experimental edit. So in other words, I was trying it out to see how it looked. Let's just say it's a good thing we left it there in the folder for no one to ever see it ever again, other than you. Can I just like make this my intro? Probably a little awkward because, well guys, I think if there's any takeaway from this video, it's that you too can make beautiful videos. You just have to make a ton of videos that look like that before you get to making beautiful videos. Guys, it's been a fun one. I'm gonna get to editing this video here now because, well, it's gotta go up in the next few hours, and I've got some really awesome videos coming. There's the traveling with my subscriber video. I did a really amazing Bali trip, and I've got my first Wednesday edits coming out very soon. Soon I won't have to just talk about it, it's gonna be a reality. If you're new to the channel, you now have seen the worst of the channel or the roughest of the channel, and if you want to see some of our newer videos here that we post on Saturdays, then hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the community. If you enjoyed today's video, smash that thumbs up, and as always, let's get lost again in the next one.